What's up, guys? It's Mega, and today we're going to give you another weekly video for Link Evolution. Today, guys, it's the first of the five decks that you guys have requested, and that is Silent Magician. I do hope you guys enjoy. Let's get into it. Okay, guys. Starting us off is, of course, the 2 copies of Ash Blossom Joy Springs. Standard hand trap should be in every single deck in Link Evolution. Stops anything that happens from the deck, pretty much. Very generic hand trap. I'm running 3 copies of Effect Veiler for a couple of reasons. For one, she's a fantastic hand trap, so you can, during your opponent's turn, send to the graveyard, target effect once on the field, negate its effect. Really great. It's also a spellcaster, which obviously is one of the requirements to summon out Silent Magician. You need to tribute any spellcaster, so if needs be, you can tribute Effect Veiler, but if not, it is a great hand trap nevertheless. Now, I'm running 3 copies of Gesticon for it. By all means, you don't need to run 3 copies of this guy. And the main reason why I decided to run it is because it's a free summon, which does help us go into stuff like Anaconda, Bowload, Crawley, or Celine, that kind of thing. You can only control one of them at one time, but if you have 2 in your hand, you can easily link him off for like Link Rebo or your Relinquished Anima, and summon out another one and just keep going. 3 copies of Magician Souls. We've got 2 targets in this deck realistically, and that is Mana and Aruru. The reason why we're running Souls is because it's just literally more draw power for the deck. Pitches out 2 cards, lets us draw 2. It is a level 1, so 1 spellcaster. So again, it is a requirement to go into Silent Magician. Mana is, of course, a target for Souls. Should your opponent target any spellcaster you control with a card effect, you can special summon her from your hand or graveyard, and that is for free. Really great. And also, level 7 or higher spellcaster you control cannot be destroyed by card effects. So it's kind of like Silent Magician level 8 should you get him out, but that is a nice little addition you need to be aware. Now, here's the main gal that everyone's been wondering, Silent Magician. I've only just realised there's actually a female, was someone mentioned on stream. Silent Magician will gain 500 attack points for each card in your hand. Kind of like Slifer, it's level 1000, it gains 500. You can special summon it from your hand by tributing any spellcaster you control, so please bear that in mind. And also, during either player's turn, you can negate a spell card from activating. This is a soft once per turn, so should you, for instance, have 2 Silent Magicians on the field at the same time, you can negate 2 spells. That's pretty much really great. And also, should Silent Magician be destroyed by battle or by a card effect, especially a Silent Magician level 8 directly from your deck, ignoring its hand or deck, ignoring its summoning conditions. And then Silent Magician level 8 is a Garnet. You don't particularly want to see him because obviously you want to draw something better. But if you do happen to draw him, you have to draw it. You will be special summoning him off of Silent Magician, and that's pretty much the only thing I can say about it. Its effect is basically it's immune or it's unaffected by all opponent's spell cards. Really great. Now, I'm running, guys, 2 copies of Prophecy. You could run 3 if you want. Like, you could Gesticon for it down to 2 and put 3 Prophecy. But I decided to run for 2 Prophecy. It's basically you get to add a spell book from your deck to your hand. You could add Fate, Knowledge, or Power. That's basically what it's all about. Draw engine of the deck. And also we're running Witchcrafter Golem Aruru. Now, the reason I'm running Aruru is because should your opponent target any spellcaster you control with a card effect, that is any spellcaster, not just like not just certain ones. So every single spellcaster is liable for this effect. You can target one card. You can target one card your opponent controls. Special summon out Aruru from your hand and bounce that card back into the deck. It's really great. Aruru is really powerful because it basically means your opponent has to think twice about targeting any cards you have. Onto the spells, guys. I'm running 1 copy of Foolish Burial because I'm only running 1 Silent Burning. This is basically 1 card you want to get into the deck with the graveyard with this card is Silent Burning, and that's pretty much the only thing. 2 copies of Instant Fusion because it just lets us get into Millennium Ice Restrict and 1000 Ice Restrict so really easily, so that's why I run this. 1 Magical Ice Fusion because we are running the Quinlet Magician because we are running a whole bunch of spellcasters. Why would we not run this card? And also, because it's got Fusion in its name, you can send it off Anaconda. 2 copies of Magician's Restage. The reason I'm running Restage is because we have got a lot of targets that are level 3 or lower. I think overall we're running like 3, 9. We're running like 11 targets this card can target for a free summon. Lets us link climb, and of course if Restage leaves the field, we get to add Magician's Right Hand from a deck to our hand. That does include if you use souls to send it to the graveyard. Really great. And then Magician's Right Hand. If you control a spellcaster monster, you can negate a spell card your opponent controls, or the first spell your opponent will activate. This card can negate Super Polymerization. Please bear that in mind. 1 copy Silent Burning. Basically, forget about its battle effect, because its battle phase effect is if you control Silent Magician, both players draw until they each holding 6 cards. You would never use this card, because why would you want to give your opponent extra cards? The only reason you would want to play this card is because if it's in the graveyard, you can banish it to add a Silent Magician from your deck to your hand. So you can search out Silent Magician from your deck. So that's why you're going to run Foolish Burial Guts. Now onto some spellbooks, guys. We're in a Spellbook of Fate. We get to banish a couple of spells, a couple of spellbook spells from our grave to trigger an effect. So if you banish 1 spellbook spell, you can return 1 set spell or trap on the field to the hand. If you have 2, you can change 1 monster from the field to face down defense mode. And if you banish 3, you can banish one card your opponent controls. Really handy if you've like done your draw engine, because you get to basically have like another interruption. 2 copies of Spellbook of Knowledge and Spellbook of Secrets. Knowledge is basically just lets us send any spellcaster or any spellbook from our hand or field to the grave to draw 2 cards. Really handy. Secrets lets us add any spellbook card from our deck to our hand. That does include Spellbook of Prophecy. So you could do Secrets, add Prophecy. Prophecy adds Knowledge. Draw 2 cards. The list goes on and on. Traps, guys. Now I'm running 3 copies of Imperm. It's just another effect veiler. So we're running like 6 effect veilers in the deck. Really good. We're running like a grand total of like 8 hand traps in the deck. If you control no cards, you can activate this card from your hand. And if you set it, you can flip it face up, target a monster, negate its effect. And then if your opponent activates a spell trap in that column, it's also negated. 2 copies of Dynamiscus. The reason I'm running this is because you can target 1 face up card your opponent controls, banish it, but you have to discard 1 card. This makes it so if you have to discard Silent Burning or Restage, you're going to trigger their abilities. And also, if you discard like a spellcaster, then that's another spellcaster in the graveyard for Magical Arts Fusion. Then we're running 3 copies of Solemn Judgment. Should your opponent like summon a monster, or should they activate a spell or trap, pay off your life points, negate the card. Really come to handy. Really saved my bacon. Now onto the extra deck, guys. We're running 1 copy of Millennium Eyes Restrict. Millennium Eyes kind of comes in handy against hand traps because you can stop Effect Veiler, Ash Blossom, Ghost Ogre. I think the only thing it can't stop is Imperm, Nibiru, or Gamma. I think that's the only things it can't stop. Because should your opponent activate a monster effect, you could target one effect monster your opponent controls or in their grave, equip it to Millennium Eyes, then that monster will have its effect negated. So like say, it stops a couple of hand traps. It's like the monster version of Corby. Then we're running 1 Quintet Magician. You need 5 spellcasters. Summon it really easy in this deck. And if you use 5 spellcasters with a different name, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. Again, not hard to do in this deck. And also, this card cannot be Kaiju'd because it can't be tributed. And also, it can't be super polyed because it can't be used as fusion material either. And as a cherry on top, it can't be destroyed by card effects. It has a lot of protection, so it really comes in handy. And then we've got a copy of Thousand Eyes Restrict. Basically, the main reason you're going to use this is like target 1 monster your opponent controls to basically absorb it. It will eat up and negate if your opponent has a negate. If not, they lose their monster. We've got 1 copy of Appaloosa. Really easy to go into this, especially with like Restage because you can link climb really high. Appaloosa will gain 800 attack for each material used for it. Then you detach 800 attack whenever your opponent activates a monster effect and negates its effect. Really nice. Bolt Sword teleports can close out games if you haven't got access to Quintet. Then we've got Crawley. Basically, upon being link summoned, you can add a spell. You get to add, choose 1 of 3 spell books. Your opponent adds 1 randomly lid to your hand. Really great. We've got 1 copy of Daybreaker, 2 spellcasters. If it's link summoned, it gains a counter. Then if you summon a spellcaster next to its link, it gains another counter. If you remove 2 counters from this card, you can target 1 card on the field, destroy it. Really great if you want to go into a link 2. Masquerader, really great, especially if you're going to go into Nightmare Unicorn, because you can link summon with Masquerader during your opponent's turn. So you can even go into like Appaloosa with this card if you want to get more negates off. Nightmare Phoenix, should your for back row hate, discard 1 card, target spell trap opponent controls, destroy it. 9-bit unicorn, you can discard one card, target one card your opponent controls, return it back to the deck, and that's really handy if you use it with Masquerade, because you can do it to your opponent's turn. Linkuriboh, because we've got Effect Veiler, Chester Comfrey, and Souls are all level 1, so it's really easy to go into Linkuriboh. Anaconda for the Quinlet Magician, and also you're going to use 2 spellcasters to go into it, really great. Relinquish Anima, again, level 1 target. If Relinquish Anima points to opponent's monster, you can steal your opponent's monster, so you have to play around their zones. And then we have Celine. Celine is basically, she'll get a counter for each spell card either on your field or in the graveyard. And once per turn, you can remove 3 spell counters to special summon a spellcaster from your hand or graveyard. Really great, and really comes in handy because all of our monsters are spellcasters. And that's it for the deck, guys. It's just a simple Silent Magician deck. Yes, it can break. I have tried other variants like a Silent Endymion build. I've tried like a Dark Magician build. I've tried a few different builds, and this was just the one I landed up with. It's really fun, really great, and I do hope you guys enjoy. If you do, hit that thumbs up or consider subscribing, and in the comment section, guys, I'd like to know, what do you think about Silent Magician? What do you think they could do to make it better? And what do you think about the deck overall? And without further ado, guys, I hope you enjoy your day wherever you are in the world. See you next week, guys.